What's going on, world? It's your boy at Big Game James _36, and this is Big Games BS live to you from Atlanta, Georgia. Um, Up here just vacationing and laying low, trying not to run into people that I don't need to run into. Even though I think I did run into somebody, it was kind of weird. Ran into an ex at the aquarium for half a second, but um, I guess I should say weird. It was just I don't go places expecting to be noticed, and I've had a couple people notice me here already. But one of them was my guy Trollis Jackson. Shout out to him. Um, he told me we're gonna solve this beer problem at the big tailgate that we're gonna have at LSU. $60, all you can eat, all you can drink. You know that price gonna raise once August hit. We're gonna raise it up to 70, but kid friendly, kids only charge $30. We'll have a kids station this time. We're not going to get any complaints this go around. So sorry about starting so late on your Friday. Everybody's trying to get they grown up on do other shit, but like I ain't gonna lie, man. I was all day at Great Lodge, and man, I was hurt. I was in the water for 6 7 hours, man. Um, chasing kids, um, not my thing, but we was hurting though. So we got a little slow start today with the Coca-Cola Museum. I went to the Georgia Aquarium, but um, one thing I'll tell you about family trips, it makes our housekeeping note even more important. I need to get this thing to 2,000 followers or 2,000 subs. I need to get 30 members. We need to get more of this stuff up, man. Because goddamn, boy, kids are family vacations make you feel like you got to sell drugs. My advice to people is to probably not procreate, but just if you could just go check out um the I know people right now you're watching it on the YouTube. So if you could just take this, share it to your other social media platforms, encourage somebody else to come in, each one teach one. Go tell a female friend, go tell a male friend, go tell a consonant friend, tell a friend, tell somebody that's hey, you're missing the best show. We need to get this thing to 2,000 subs. We're gonna give away $200. I think the last time I checked it though, we were at about not quite at close to 1750. So 200, if we get that by the end of the show, I'll give away $250 at the end of the show. If not, we got till Monday show. We'll give away $250 if we get that done by Monday. Go in, check out some of the stuff that we've done, some of the stuff in the past, like it, you know, give some feedback. Actually, one person gave me some quality feedback, and I'm going to read this because I was in the wrong and I overlooked it, and he was in the right. So let me click on this. And it was if you look at the shorts that Miles has been producing, they're pretty damn good. We got one about DJ Chart, not knowing that he got traded, and he found out he got traded on social media, just like the rest of us. We got Sean Kemp's drive by, a bunch of different stuff that we're trying to add to the good old stuff. But man, long story short, I wanted to make sure I had his name right. But I got called out. We're talking about top 25 coaches in FBS. And I brought up Kansas State and how I did not believe that the coach at Kansas State, who used to be the coach at North Dakota State, was a top 10 coach. I still don't believe he's a top 10 coach, but I do have to give, if I give Sonny Dykes credit for making it to the national championship, I have to give the person credit who beat Sonny Dykes. And Kansas State did win the Big 12. I think that's like being, the tallest midget. But at the end of the day, they still did it. He is a top 15 coach. My guy, brought up a very, very good point. He said, bro, Kansas State just won the 2022 Big 12 championship, and they won three. They've won three since 2003, more than Texas and OU, same as Baylor during that time period. So why wouldn't they be considered a potential conference champ? Well, that was what was said. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think anybody coaching Texas. I don't think you ever heard me say the drunk Sarkisian is a top 25 coach. And I'm not gonna give Clemson's former DC a top 25 coaching spot either. Now, Baylor maybe because he did elevate them very, very quick. But I'm still not going to be doing that. And 3 championships since 2003 is definitely not top 10 worthy. But I will say you were right in the sense that I did come off a little bit too harsh on Kansas State without taking a step back and realizing. But see, and this goes to a conversation that me and some of my friends were talking. So I'm going to go off cuff here a little bit, Miles. So none of this right here is actually in our links, but we'll talk about this. It's something that happened in our group chat. College Football Home Twitter actually put out something talking about how they used the Big Ten East and how they were only and the last time each member of the Big Ten East won a consensus, or excuse me, a united, basically an unshared national championship. And it was crazy. You know, you had Ohio State was the most recent. Michigan hadn't won one since 1947. You've got other guys who haven't, like I think it was Rutgers and somebody else hadn't won one at all. Trying to find it, make sure I say the things, but yeah, we were just discussing how it's tough being a Florida State or a Florida fan or a Miami fan or the big dogs in the SEC, because when we talk about championships, we're not talking about, like, we talk about football. Our world sucks if we're not in competition for national championships. If we're not in competition for consistent conference championships. So, like, when you hear the rhetoric of somebody saying we've won 3 conference championships since 2003, that's like nobody else looks at that like, well, excuse me, everybody else looks at that as good, but nobody in our world in sports look at that as a great thing. It's actually pretty whack when you think about it. Like, damn, 3 champion, like, you've only got a chance to be in the heavy confetti 3 times. That's just not to me. All right, here it is right here. I'm reading about this. College Football Home Fun Fact Friday. Last undisputed national championship for each Big Ten East team. Number 1 in the coaches' poll. 2014 Ohio State, 1986 Penn State, 1953 Maryland, 1952 Michigan, 1952 Michigan State, 1948 Michigan, Indiana never, Rutgers never. And what I was wondering is, if you went back and you did this for every conference, what would it be? And I am mighty curious. Let's see here. NCAA rankings, NCAA conferences, FBS conferences. What are the things? And again, it just goes to my point that people get excited about things that are in worlds where they're not used to having dominance. It goes beat your rival, go to a bowl, go to like, the rivalries matter. Like, the person, because Kansas State and Kansas know they're not playing for national championships. It means more for Kansas State and Kansas who wins Kansas State or Kansas than it does, or it means just as much to them as it does for us to talk about national championships, because it's not something that they're used to. Like, if we go to the ACC, Clemson, Florida State, national, probably the only 2 that have won national championships. What do you guys think? We might need to may need to go have our research poll for this, but I don't believe that Clemson, Florida State. I mean, Clemson, I don't think Louisville's ever won a national championship. NC State's only had one 10-win season in their entire history, so I know they haven't won one. Syracuse won a natty quite, like, I think with Jim Brown back in the day. I don't believe Boston College has ever won. So if we use that, the ACC Atlanta. Let me go do this. I mean, I got the Louisville football national championships. Louisville, I believe they got 3 teams. They were established 1912. No, no national championships for Louisville. Long story short, I think if you go to each division, even in the SEC, let's go SEC East. And that's just comparable because everybody's talking about who has the best football conference, the Big Ten or the SEC. Why did I do that? Because it just went. All right, we have Big Ten. Big Ten West probably. We don't. Nebraska's one of these. I don't know if anybody else is. Minnesota won, I believe, some time ago. Pac-12 just is one conference. I believe if you really look at that, I mean, obviously USC is one of natty. But all right, the SEC East, you got Georgia, Tennessee, Florida. So they've 3 teams that have national championships, all within the last 30 years. But South Carolina, Kentucky, Missouri, Vanderbilt, I don't believe have ever won one. South Carolina may have won one back before black people were allowed to play, but not 1,000% sure. If you go to SEC West, Alabama, LSU, Auburn, and then Texas A&M won one before we had the Great World War. But I'm not sure about Ole Miss. I'm not sure about Arkansas. I'm not sure about the others. But so I say all that to say is that these guys don't really like no like there's only been so many national champions. And if you really want to know the truth, even before the Great War, that's when Harvard, Yale, Princeton, all of those guys were some of the better programs. Colorado's won one in there. Georgia Tech, Devin. Georgia Tech won a national championship, I believe, in 1990. They had the shit, but that wasn't undisputed. That was shared. I just realized that. They split that with Colorado. But yeah, it's that was just something I was just thinking about. But on to the topics at hand, the real ones that I have here. Florida State 2023 is our chance. And then there's been a lot of heat. If you want to go to Sporadics, check out the interview we did with Mike Alford. Look at what Florida State's going to be here in the next few years. But some big time news dropped on Wednesday. And at first, I was a little shook. And I was like, damn, I don't really want to play this game. I hope this game is going to get. I just read Georgia. So I read Florida State is playing Georgia in Dublin, Ireland. And I'm like, damn, I don't want to play Georgia. I ain't even going to lie. It's 2024, man. We don't know what the fuck that team going to look like. Like, you know, then I saw it was Georgia Tech and I felt a little bit more familiar. And I'm cool with that. But as with most things or most announcements, FSU fans are in an uproar. And FSU, if you look at it, I wanted to title this, but I don't really use the N word like that, especially in public. But put Housewords in Dublin. It's kind of like Jay-Z and Kanye on Watch the Throne had N words in Paris. This is basically us. FSU announced that we will open the 2024 season in Ireland. Tickets can be secured by placing a $250 deposit on travel packages exclusively at Seminoles2Ireland.com. More information about our first international game and program history. And there's a link, #NoelFamily, #KeepClimbing. What happened is when we go back and we look at all of this, Florida State was poised to play Georgia Tech week 1 away. And it was going to be in Atlanta. A lot of no's in Atlanta. I've seen a lot of shirts here. Atlanta's a fun city to visit, especially, expensive city to visit, but when you're in and out, it's not a bad city to visit. Plenty of stuff going on, plenty hotels, plenty things that you can like really organize a really, really good game with. But Florida State hasn't played in Atlanta as often as you would want. The last time we played an away game at Georgia Tech was when they blocked our field goal. And I remember going there with DeMarcus Walker. So he was playing, got tickets from him. But we remember I'll be honest with you, man. I'm here right now, and it's cool. The strip clubs are way better, I'm assuming, in Atlanta than they would be in Dublin, Ireland. But I've never been to Dublin, Ireland. I just know the women are going to be pale. But Atlanta, being here, I'm realizing why Atlanta is not a real place. Atlanta's not. Atlanta is chocolate. Is definitely chocolate city. I have never seen this many black people working at some of the establishments that I frequent, or that I think I like to frequent, as I've seen in this week being here in Atlanta. That being said, it's been some of the most ratchet and righteous service that I've gotten here. It's I don't necessarily know if I want to come back for quite some time unless it's work related. So, but I've never been to Ireland. Ireland, I have a passport. I get a chance to go check it out. Go see my heritage of the people who don't claim me. Been doing some research. People talking about you can't wear, like I say, I want to wear a kilt, and I don't wear drawers, so I'm going. It should be a little bit more brisk up there during that time. So feel that good wind. Give me a garnet gold kilt. So he was like, "That's the Scottish matey," and I'm like, "Yo, chill. It's a Celtic tradition." But they also got bagpipes. And this is what I want to see. I saw the big homie Snoop. He was in Scotland, and they came out there and they had the bagpipes blowing for him. And he was doing his little Jackie crit walk to Still DRE. I mean, if we go ahead and play that, Miles. This is what I want right here. When I get off the plane, but I don't want them playing this though. I want the war chant. I want the FSU fight song playing for me when I get on. So check this right here. So this is what we're going to do. It's ain't about making bread, but I want you to stay tuned, especially if you're a member of DIN Media Group and you're a subscriber. I want you to know this. Never underestimate my ability to figure shit out. We're throwing a Dublin tailgate. I'm telling you right now, we're bubbling in Dublin. Housewords in Dublin. We're making a movie. There's a barbecue spot called My Meat or something like that. I'm gonna find out how to get in contact with them folks, and we're gonna have our meat all over fucking Scotland. I'm probably gonna figure out how to get cheese over there. We're gonna bring some American food, we're gonna have some Ireland food, we're gonna have all kind of vibes, we're gonna have real Guinness, real liquor, we're gonna drink it up, we're gonna live it up, and love it a lot. To quote Jay-Z, we're going to sin a lot and pray that Christ forgive us. But like, we're going to go out here. We're going to have a good time. But I did the numbers, right? And so everybody's like, oh my God, why are we going overseas? Me. Cry. Cry me a river. And what people don't realize is, let's see what Georgia Tech Stadium holds. This is the beautiful thing about doing this from my computer. Georgia Bobby Stadium. So the normal allotment of tickets to an away team is roughly around 10,000. So Bobby Dodd Stadium has a seating capacity of 55,000 people. It's a small school. Georgia Tech's a private school, so they don't need a huge facility like Florida State. It's a very cozy stadium. It ain't bad. It's downtown Atlanta. The parking sucks. If you get a hotel, the best bet is to Uber there and back. I remember from what I did. That's what I did when we played here. The Bobby Dodd Stadium is about 55,000. Actually, they just had some renovations, so it'll probably be pretty cool. But let's see, football stadium, and I believe the Dublin stadium holds about the same amount of people. The difference is we get to split it. We get to probably split the amount of the stadium. So if it's 55,000 there, so 25, so you're probably about 28, close to 28, 27,500 tickets that Florida State can allot and sell. I guarantee you they're not going to sell that many packages. If Florida State can sell almost 30,000 packages, God bless. I believe that they're less than that. You're all going to be able to buy tickets on the secondary market. But I looked at the hotels. from around this time, sometime closer to 2020. Talking about you can get a hotel for 120 euro, which is about 160 dollars a night. More than likely, you can get a plane flight. I guarantee you, the flights are going to be between 700 to 1,000. The more people who are going to inquire about flying out there, the more flights they're going to be able to have. But I know American flies to there right now. If you're staying there for a few days, you probably get away with this. Is probably a $1,500 trip. You don't know what to tell that. Like if you're a member of Den Media Group, I'll be able to get you hotels in game day in Florida State for $375. We'll have a special link for members of Den Media Group. I don't know if you realize that 375 is more than 160. I don't know what it's like to fly into Tallahassee, but I guarantee you it's expensive to fly into Tallahassee. I don't know what it's like, but the food, everything else. When you're looking at the price, and a lot of people were complaining, you're actually probably getting off cheaper to watch Florida State in Ireland than you would be able to watch Florida State in Tallahassee. Now, there are a lot of people who live in Atlanta, and I get it, but you got Atlanta, you got Orlando, Jacksonville. There's a lot of New York City, a lot of major places that will fly into Dublin that that you'll be able to have a good time with. On top of the fact that and I want people to realize it's not always about you. One of the coolest things that I got to do when I was in college was I got a chance to go to Africa twice. I got my passport. I remember the experience of going to get my passport for the first time. It was cool. I remember the fear of going. I was like, man, am I going to have to get shots? I don't like needles. Am I going to have to, which is funny. Everybody talks about, Everybody talks about, I'll talk about that in a second here, Rob. Thank you for that. Everybody talks about how, how they're forcing you to get vaccinated. Bitch, try to go to another fucking country without taking some shots back in the day. They was going to force a fucking needle in your ass. Trust and believe. So, but this is an opportunity for about 120 young men to be able to get their passport paid for. They'll probably get a whole bunch of other different perks and benefits and be able to travel to another country to be able to experience. And that's one of the cool things about all of this. I stopped looking at it about myself and look at it about the experience as for the experience of the young athlete. That's why even with bowl games, I always tell you, of course, my preference is to play a bowl game in Miami, play a bowl game somewhere else. But man, if we would have went to the Popeyes Chicken Bowl in Bahamas, man, I'd have been right there in Nassau with my hair down, with my skin tan and my hair long. But a lot of times, that's just what I think Florida State fans need to recognize. But we're playing in Ireland, Seminoles in Dublin, getting after it. Going on to the next thing. When we'll talk about free agency. So my man Rob Owens just brought up Trent Baalke just signed Trey Herndon to a 1-year deal. Not overly excited about that, but Trey didn't play overly bad. It's just not great. I think the Jags were in the hunt for another D. I wonder if we signed him because we couldn't get the DB from the Broncos. I haven't been checking that, but Trent Baalke did say the Jags weren't going to be that active in free agency this year. A lot of the stuff was going to be about keeping and maintaining the guys that they already have. They got some really good pieces. The Jags aren't that far away. A couple big pieces and couple unique pieces in the draft, and the Jags can be moving, can be on and popping. They got competent coaching with Doug Peterson, really good coaches all around. So we shall see. The only thing I'm mad about is we lost our hooker. But one of the big splashes, and I think we might have talked about this a little bit on Wednesday, but Jalen, actually, we're going to go, before we go to Jalen Ramsey, we talked about D-Walk on the last show. Miles, go to the D-Walk interview with Chi-Town. Let's click on that. Let's hear my dog talk about his decision in free agency and what all went into that.
You need one of those. Excuse my French, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. Kid who's playing quarterback have anything to do?
Did it play from? It must not have played from the beginning. Play it again.
Because you need one of those to win too. Excuse my French accent. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So just in case you didn't hear, they asked D-Walk, did the starting quarterback play anything to have anything to do with where you signed? And basically say, hell, fuck yeah, they did. Shout out to my dog. Little ass watch, big ass chain. I love the Cuban necklace. I almost bought one a couple Christmases ago. It's like they've come back. I love how the 80s and the 90s are coming back now. But dog, when you got a big ass wrist like we got D-Walk, we gotta get you. I'm gonna tell Blake, we gotta get you a big watch. We gotta get you a big watch. Too big to be having a small watch. And don't tell me, I know it probably costs a little bit, but you could have probably got a big boy, Patek or something like that for like not mess with, plain Janes. That's how you get your bread. Now going from there, shout out to D-Walk though. I'm happy about a $21 million contract. I think 15 of which is guaranteed. But Jalen got shifted to the Miami Dolphins, and congratulations to him. And now a guy who's probably in hog heaven right now is Zay Howard. And the reason why I say that is because he doesn't have to worry about being the guy who has to guard the best receiver anymore and getting toast. He's got him a new best friend. But before we get into that, let's listen to what has to say about how he feels about being in Miami.
When I was at Florida State, we did our thing against, the Hurricanes 3 years in a row while I was at Florida State. So I'm like, man, I don't know how they gonna feel about me right now. I used to tear them up, but man, they showed love. They showed nothing but love. It was, when I was at Florida State.
So, I mean, talking about that, just little trolls there. While he was there, living it up, was at the Miami Heat game where they had him a jersey. They gave Xavier Howard a jersey. They were courtside, people cheering. I'm trying to find. There's a Miles. If you can click on the other video, I think the other link that was right under that, or maybe no, maybe it was Jalen just Jalen written words. We'll read those. Yeah. Jalen basically saying that, fun fact, what's crazy is growing up, I was a Miami Hurricane fan. I used to visit and all that. Then they didn't offer me. So I started to hate everything Miami and went to FSU. Then I was a Miami Heat fan with LeBron when LeBron was there, of course. And now I'm a Dolphin fan for life. So basically, this fits Jalen's persona. I think Jalen lying like Ray Lewis be lying as far as he was the Hurricanes. Hey, Jalen had offers from everybody, so I really, really have a hard time believing that he didn't have that offer. I was trying to find something that Jalen posted up, but it was about big time players getting traded. Or like something happened in the first or second years, and then them winning Super Bowls. But basically, they're just talking about Super Bowl or bust over there. But check out go to the IG, the next link, and just talk about how excited Xavier Howard is to have Jalen Ramsey on that. And they're talking about we're gonna be the best duo. Remember that. Now shift to the next slide on that. You got some audio there.
The trade rooms and stuff like that. I DM like with the eyes. I'm like, bro, let's make it happen. And look what happened. He made it happen.
Told you.
Yeah.
I was talking like all of y'all. I said, man, I'm trying, man. I'm trying.
Yeah. Man.
I was trying for weeks, dog.
Right. Now we got it. Gonna be the best duo. Remember that. The crazy part when I was here.
And then now you got Jalen signing this contract there. So congratulations to the Dolphins. My homegirl Nikki, my boy Dibby. Don't have to lose no more hair about that, but just getting good solid pieces and good pickups is just what it's all about in this offseason. Going back to college real quick, and we talked about how University of Florida just brought back Billy Gonzalez. They're making a lot of different hires. Well, anyway, the University of Florida, I guess this is their DC. They hired somebody, and I need y'all help. Somebody tell me what the fuck this guy's talking about. But if you go click on that, Miles, for me.
What modern football is. We don't have a toolbox. We like to say we have a tool shed of scheme. You know what I mean? Our deal is we're going to be multiple 4-down front team that play split safety, man match, and middle field close coverage. We're going to pressure, the word creeper gets thrown around, right, which is a 4-man pressure versus the pass and a 5-man pressure against the run. So it's a mixture of a fire zone and a cover 3 cover concepts. We do some other stuff on a 5-man process that's different at a 4-down front and 3-down front. At the end of the day, not many people are like us that are multiple in the back end and multiple in the front end. They're kind of one or the other, right? We're both. We're going to be able to take whatever tools we need every week to play in this league because each team's different. Vanderbilt's different than Georgia. Georgia is different than Tennessee. You know what I'm saying? And you got to have a scheme that is flexible to what you're seeing all the time, but also what your players can do. So,
what it sounds like is you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Like, you ever seen somebody who wants to sound smarter than what they are, so they're going to use every big word that they got? That's basically what you guys just witnessed right there. We're going to run multiple. We don't have what he sounded like was not even Great Value Kirby Smart, because Great Value brand, a lot of people joke about that, but that shit's actually pretty good. Like, I remember them Great Value oatmeal raisin cookies that they had. Like, them shits was delicious. So I'm not even going to say, I'm going to say Dollar Tree. This man is Dollar Tree Nick Saban. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Not Nick Saban, excuse me, Kirby Smart. We don't have a tool, excuse me, what did they say? We don't have a tool kit. We got a tool shed. We're going to do some of everything. We're going to run a 4-man pressure, which is a 4-3. Like, we're going to run a 5-man pressure. 5 on the run. Like, bitch, do you realize how good your D-line has to be to get pressure with 4? Like, I don't know if you watched your team, like the team that you just inherited. But you know what? All being inside, they like Jonah Hill. Jonah Hill playing the life story of the defensive coordinator from the University of Florida. God bless. It's just like when Paul Blart, I can't think of his name, King of Queens, he played Sean Payton in the Disney movie. By the way, Sean Payton is starting to look more like that character. Sean been eating, man, since he's been gone. So I just want people to realize that. All I'm saying is that, what are we gonna run, man? We're gonna run a 4-down, like we're gonna run a cover 3 concept with man pressure, and like those shits don't even fucking make sense, man. And I'm not saying this to troll. Like, if Florida State had if Coach Fuller went up there and started talking about this shit, I would be mad. Like, man, what the fuck is he talking about? Can somebody explain this shit to me? But really what he sounded like was this. Miles, go ahead, click that next link. And it sounded like it's a guy who's an internet troll. Not troll, excuse me. He's like Drewski, but with football coaches. I love this guy, by the way. He's awesome.
It's going to come down to quarterback play. It's going to come down to the line of scrimmage. It's going to come down to fourth quarter. It's going to come down to special teams, third down, defense, the passing game, running game, taking care of the football. This one's going to come down to big plays. Somebody's got to make a play. I looked down at the bench. I said, we need someone to make a play. Got to make plays. We got to do a better job of making plays. Who's going to make a play? I look down at my quarterback and say, you ready to make a play? It's going to come down to execution. We got to execute. Our guys just executed it better. They're just executing the red zone between the tackle, quarterback, the skill position. Our motto this year is just execution. They executed some plays. We didn't. On the back of our T-shirt just says execute. Yeah, we had some injuries, but it's about next man up. Honestly, football is about next man up. We got a next man up type policy here. And I thought to myself, next man up. Here in this program, next man up. We preach next man up. He went down in the first quarter. I thought to myself, who's next man up? Somebody missed an assignment. Blown covered. Receiver missed an assignment. And we had a bubble screen set up and he ran trips right. It's just a matter of who's got a bigger chip on their shoulder. Our boys came out with a chip on their shoulder. We got a chip on our shoulder. They had a chip on the shoulder.
You can pause that. But what was funny is when I heard this guy talking, it reminded me of a young man who coaches on the staff that I coach with high school. He's a very good coach, Coach Casey. He's saying this shit. He reminds me of my boy Mario too when he was younger. And I'm like, man, y'all write all this bullshit up. I was like, I'm going to win because my guys just good. Our philosophy is run through your fucking face mask. All that other mumbo jumbo doesn't it sounds really, really good for people who feel the need to have to prove that they know shit. Now, I'll say this. John G just put the best bar that if you can't wow them with your intellect, baffle them with BS. I love that. They put that shit on a shirt. Because that's the reality. Is this guy just went in there and people are like, oh, I love that. And I'm like, what the fuck did he just say? What did you leave from that short stint more educated about football? Because I don't know what the fuck is going on. And somebody was like, well, for people who know football, I'm like, well, shit. I know. I mean, I don't know nothing about football. I'm willing to admit that I don't know shit about football. If that's what football is, then goddamn it, shit, leave me be. Leave me be. Aaron Rodgers is making the news for. I just got I got a major beef with the way we're covering this Aaron Rodgers shit. By the way, we talk about LeBron so bad and black athletes so bad, and I'm not making this a racial thing. It's just about this. They just happen to be black athletes for taking control of their destiny, for understanding the salary cap, making concessions at times to play with friends and people that they have a good chemistry with, as if this is a weakness. But then fucking Aaron Rodgers goes and does it, and now everybody's like, oh my God, this is Aaron Rodgers, blah, 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 blah. Aaron Rodgers is doing something that I didn't think was possible. Aaron Rodgers was drafted early. Not early. He actually sat there late, but he was drafted because he fell to the Green Bay Packers. And the Green Bay Packers had Brett Favre, who was in his tween years. And he didn't like it. So Aaron Rodgers went to go on to take pictures of his dick and send it to a female reporter that went to Florida State. Then he also went and played for the New York Jets. Then he played for the Minnesota Vikings, and he stole money from kids in Mississippi. Really, right now, if we're looking at this, what happened with Aaron Rodgers, a guy fell to the Packers. They drafted his replacement. He gets upset. He's been throwing a fucking temper tantrum since. Now he wants to go play for the New York Jets. He's a dick of a person as well. His family fucking hates him. And the only thing he's doing different is he's adding a little bit of LeBron James pizzazz to him. Aaron Rodgers has asked specific players to be able to come and ask for specific players for the New York Jets to draft. Or that's the rumor, is that he asked for these guys. Now they picked up a couple of them. One in particular, Alan Lazard on playing with Aaron Rodgers. He's a big reason why I'm here today. I can't deny that. He stood on the table for me in training camp. And when I didn't deserve to make the roster, he called for me to be in the games. He's always believed in me. Aaron Rodgers right now, I've made it clear since Friday my intention to play for the New York Jets. A lot of things still have to go into play for this to happen, but there's a few other players. He's asked for Mercedes Lewis, who is my age, to be picked up as well. Actually, and Mercedes is still playing relatively well. He's not a top 15 tight end, but he's definitely a guy that you could put on the side as a blocking agent. But he's literally playing general manager for the Jets, and he's not even there yet. And what's wild is Aaron Rodgers hasn't won a Super Bowl in 12 years, I believe. Aaron Rodgers is only going to give you a year or two, maybe. People in his contract is pretty high. The Jets believe that they stand a better chance with winning with a guy who's been he's good, but not that great in the last few years, over a guy who's literally won MVP in the last 4. And Lamar Jackson, and it would have cost you less. The more people look at this, the more it makes people scratch their head about the collusion. And people won't bash Aaron Rodgers in a manner in which they really, really should. Aaron Rodgers is a terrible person, but not as terrible of a person yet as Brett Favre. But he's looking very much so like Brett Favre Jr. Yeah, I can't get with that one. This one just doesn't make sense. But I mean, I get it, but I don't. Listen to this. What do the talking heads have to say about this stuff? I love hearing what Stephen A. Smith, who can talk about anything, right, wrong, or indifferent with such passion. Such a fucking tool. But let's listen to what the talking heads got to say.
What do you think the Packers should demand in return?
Absolutely a first-round pick. Aaron Rodgers is one of the greatest quarterbacks in the game still. You know, at age at least one. As far as I'm concerned, if you listen, let me call this what it is, and I got my man Teddy and Keyshawn here. Let me be very, very clear. If you had to give up 2 first-round picks to get Aaron Rodgers, I think you should do it if you're the New York Jets. I will remind everybody, this is not just about the greatness of Aaron Rodgers, okay? All right, it's not just about that. It's about the perpetual futility of the New York Jets. They haven't won a Super Bowl since 1968. They haven't been to a Super Bowl since 1968. They've been to 4 conference championship games since that time, 82 with Gastineau and Klecko and them, and 98, I think, with Parcells and my man right there, Key in the house. And then you had Rex Ryan, 2009, 2010, and that's about it. By the way, since 2010, not only have they not been to the Super Bowl, obviously, since then, they ain't been in the playoffs. New York Jets haven't been in the playoffs since 2010. So when you are that futile, when you are that inept, when you are that moribund as a franchise for years, for decades, I mean, spanning over 50 years,
All right, push
desperate
pause.
times call for desperate measures. Now,
So the premise of Stephen A. Smith, Smith's statement is that it's not about Aaron Rodgers being great, because this is what he stated. This isn't me putting words in his mouth. It's what he stated. It's the fact that the Jets should do something because they haven't even been to the playoffs basically in 13 years. And they haven't won a Super Bowl in quite a bit of time. So they should sacrifice it all for better quarterback play so they could change it. When there's a better quarterback literally in the that was in the conference, because it's going down. So what he's saying is that instead of getting a young talented quarterback, we're going to go get Aaron Rodgers to go face to face with Tua Tagovailoa if he's coherent, Mac Jones if he's not crying, Josh Allen. The fact is they're going to go into an AFC that has all the young talent at quarterback. When in the last few years, he hasn't even been able to establish dominance as the best quarterback in the NFC North. I think that's what it is. Yeah, the NFC North. Make sure I have you couldn't show that you couldn't show that you were better than Justin Fields. I'll give you that. Who's Minnesota's quarterback? Can't think of it right now on the top of my head. Let me go look at this. Since we're talking about, futility and doing things the right way. You finished third. I don't believe they've won playoff games. They haven't really been considered that. Get Kirk Cousins. That's it. You're fleeing Kirk Cousins to come and play some of the best to come against some of the much better quarterback competition. I just think the Jets aren't doing themselves a proper service in order to win. But then again, this is what happens around the time of March. Madness happens. And it's what Future made a song about. Is one of his best songs. Actually, I think I'm gonna miss Future too. Future's coming to Jacksonville on it's coming to Jacksonville Sunday. Want to hear that? Dirty Soda in my styrofoam. Smoke a blunt and get my mind going. 200 miles on the dash. But apparently, I haven't been watching it, but I do know this is Friday. Excuse me. Yeah, Thursday and Friday, the first 2 days of the tournament, are two of the most taken off days for men in the calendar year. It also happens to be the day that most men go and get their nads clipped. So it's the first round. It's the first round of the tournament. Right now, it's been madness all over. Quarter one or half one, FDU is up 10-9 over Purdue. Drake and Miami play. Creighton, a lot of upsets have been happening. And, Pittsburgh beat Iowa State 59-41. Damn, St. Mary's beat VCU. I was hoping Lil Bro was going to win. Providence, Kentucky should be a good game. Memphis is probably going to beat FAU. I'm trying to get to the first day of craziness. Come on, where we at? All right. West Virginia beat Maryland in the close game 67-65. But it was the Furman, Virginia game, and I think that's the first clip we got, Miles. Furman beats Virginia. And the way that they beat them is I'd have had to whoop Buddy's ass. But go ahead, let's get that video going. 65-67 at this point. Second half, 9.8 seconds left.
With Shedrick are their best free throw shooter. Clark in a straight jacket. Oh, he didn't need to do that. He threw it away. Ping, Pegues.
Furman hits that three, makes it 68-67 with 2.2 seconds left in the game. For those who didn't pay attention to it, they basically trapped the inbound guy, and instead of just he would have been better off taking the foul and getting him in the turnover. He decides to just throw up the ball, and it goes right to Buddy from Furman. And then he doesn't even get back on defense. But if Furman takes it, once dribble, pushes it up, shoots the three, gets them the victory, 68-67. They don't recover from that. The next one is and that was, what was it? Furman was 13 seed, Virginia was the 4th seed, messed up a lot of people's brackets. Auburn beat Iowa as well. I'm gonna get to this ribbon. Louisiana Lafayette almost got Tennessee up out of there, but that game was 58-55. Pitt State beat Texas A&M, so the 10 seed beat the 7th seed. Those aren't the ones that really get people upset. But Princeton was the 15th seed, And they beat Arizona, who a lot of people had actually winning it all. If you know enough about Princeton, they fucking fundamental basketball your ass to death. Like those guys just really old white men love Princeton basketball. Like it's just the way the game was meant to be played, as they will say. But let's watch this clip. 56-55 right now. Princeton in Arizona. 29 and a half seconds left. Good backdoor shot comes in, reverse, gets a good foul, gets to the charity stripe. Gotta love that. Yeah, that's sexy. They end up winning 59-55. They hit those, they hit the 2 free throws, probably come down, hit another one, ice the game. And now you have 2 brackets basically busted up. This weekend has been full of that. I will probably start watching this once the Elite 8 comes around, or if it's on. Not a huge basketball guy, unless Florida State's and we suck. So there's no need for me to watch it, unless I want to see Miami. I want to see Miami lose, so that would be cool. But the Raptors show up on a Friday, fuck it Friday. We talk about topics and just a whole bunch of variety of topics and a myriad of topics. And I was searching and perusing as I was trying to put my boys to bed after a long day at the water park and the chlorine whipping their ass, and just something that it reminded me of a post that Little Duval put up the other day. The day that we all admit that we're hypocrites is the day that the world will become a better place. All I see is from both sides is men ain't this, women ain't this, Sierra protect this and this, protect black women. Blah, 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 blah. The one thing I'm learning, but it was one of the craziest things, it's about women, man. Some of y'all have the strictest fucking standards, the highest qualifications of picking who you're going to date, and you still pick wrong. And it's never your fault. But the topic of women's intuition came up. And women, I have a lot of female friends, including my sister says this shit. I can just tell when a man is cheating on me. I can just tell, but you can never tell when a man needs a sandwich. Your intuition never kicks in for good shit. You can never say, man, you know what? I don't know how you do it with your sage and shit when you do it. A man needs his dick sucked. Your intuition never tells you that. But your intuition can tell you when something, like, do you not see the stupidity in that thought process? I got a gut feeling that he's cheating. No, you got a gut feeling he's cheating on you because you haven't fucked him on you. And then you know what you never do with your intuition, when you go search through that phone, you go through all these other different things, you never tell them, hey, good job, baby. I went through your shit today. And you know what I didn't find? I didn't find anything. Your intuition never tells you. You never tell people when your intuition was off. If your intuition is right 100% of the time, the only thing you're showing us is that you have a propensity to choose wrong. And then when you're tired of you don't put it on your own intuition. Like, you would think if your intuition was that strong, it would prevent you from being in these fucking bad. If your intuition cared about you, you wouldn't be in these situations. You ever thought about that? Men don't get to say shit like that. That's the problem. And I'm not telling you that you haven't dated ain't shit dudes. Well, some of them are really good dudes. They cheated on you. That doesn't mean they're not an ain't shit person. Martin Luther King is one of the greatest Americans to ever live this planet, and he fucked white hookers when he was literally changing the way the American culture worked. But what I'm saying is that my boy Grinch comes up here with great thing. Intuition is stupid. When your intuition is wrong, you never tell people about those times. You literally never talk about the thing. Like if you're so intuitive, it's kind of like the psychic, that the broke psychic. They can tell you how the world's going to be and how your world's going to be, but can't tell themselves that. Isn't there something wrong with that? Sounds like a lot of fucking guessing. But it should be a video right after that goes with the bitch that keeps talking about how her life fucking sucks. Thank you, John. I always tell people is this. I'm the one who ain't shit in the relationship because I'm the one who's always fucking up. I'll never talk bad about an ex. They may have cheated on me. They may have other stuff might happen, but I'll never tell them. I'll never tell somebody else that they're the fucked up part. Well, maybe my daughter's mother, but I don't really even go into that. I just don't talk about her. So I don't have a lot of great things to say about her. But women's intuition. Your intuition never tells you don't wear a dress with half your ass out going to the fucking club because it might get your man shot. Never tells you that shit. But it's always protect black women. It's always protect women in general. It's always this. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't be, but I'm telling you that whole concept in of itself is misogynist. But let's listen to this crazy chick right here who probably burns fucking sage, probably does a lot of other wild, crazy schizo shit, really just talking to herself. You realize it's crazy. If you really went and sat on somebody's couch, they would probably write you a script being psychotic. But let's listen to what this bitch got to say.
Here's what they don't tell you about being a naturally intuitive person, okay? Having a strong intuition has quite frankly been my villain origin story because I can't be playing games on the playground like everyone else gets to do. Because the gag is people can't hide shit from me. And if I don't know it consciously, I know it subconsciously, okay? People can't be hiding secrets. They can't be cheating on me, okay? Because I'm going to dream about it. That's one thing I'm going to do, okay?
Like, do you realize how crazy you sound saying you dreamed about somebody cheating on you?
When you're naturally intuitive, nothing comes as a shock to you. Nothing surprises you, especially when it comes to people. And that's not fun for me. And that's not fun for the other person because they just can't people be trying to hide shit, okay? People be trying to play in your face. And when you're naturally intuitive, you know what the fuck's going on, but you can't say anything about it because then you look like the crazy one. No, bitch, I know exactly what's going on. And the people try to demonize me. I'm a Scorpio moon. That's just my whole character arc. Shout out to the Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, Gemini, Virgos, clairvoyant ass bitches. We got it rough.
No, listen, man, I'm going to tell you this right here. You come to me talking about all that bullshit, and I'm going to tell you to go on and hit the door. Just leave. Isn't that what women always tell men like before they cheat? If you didn't have to cheat on it, just leave. If you got to do all of that, man, just leave, dog. But the reality is you're fucking weird, and you're doing a bunch of other bull. You're doing the most. That's the crazy part and all of that shit. But yeah, that's a lot of energy. That's a lot of stuff to deal with. I don't really know what's up with this new age of women and your crystals and your sage and you're putting all this other shit upside you. Like, it's just, it's just I'm afraid for the future. But I'm just going to teach my sons to be masculine men because that ain't going to never go out of style, as my mother said. But this is the other thing, too. You got to be careful with women. Like, again, women just set people up. I wish that these people would have got the pump shotgun. This white couple deserved to be able to put some vengeance on these people. But this black chick, you don't even got to play it. Black chick tried to set up these people with a fake DoorDash while she had 4 brothers come behind. And somehow black women trying to say this woman was manipulated by me. Nope, bitch, do this shit again. They will come in. I keep saying that when people post these posts about men saying not all men are this, not all men are that, and then I put up a tick, and I'm like, well, you're right. That if you ask a woman about if she knows ain't shit women, she's going to tell you she knows ain't shit women. So what I tell people is stop trying to make it seem like one sex or one race runs the gamut. We can talk about historical problems, but what we have to stop doing is trying to like, bitch, heal already. Once you heal, make better decisions, make better choices. That's reality. But I'll say this: when you make better decisions and better choices in dating, you get like this last post, man. And Bill Gates' daughter is Bill Gates, one of the richest men in America, in the world. And Dr. Umar Johnson talks about the transfer of wealth. Well, if this young man shoots this club up of this mid milk of magnesia mommy, this pilgrim princess, he's going to be one of the richest and are going to be some richest in the world. And I just want people to see, as we end this show, pure, unadulterated black boy joy. It's just Like, I'm smiling for this. She didn't go get a cream skinned or a waffle colored Negro. She went and got one of the blackest men that she can find, and she is just as proud of this dark. I'm talking about this. You know, I've got friends that are so dark that it makes their teeth whiter. In every picture, you just see pure black boy joy. And I'm gonna be honest with you, so my sisters, if y'all keep going down this route, man, I don't care what Omar and them say. Trey gonna, my boys is handsome. They can get it from everybody. I'm gonna be like, hey man, we don't need all that goddamn stress in our life. You know, ain't no pussy that good that's worth you being stressed out and you ain't able to make plays. I got a horror. Now white women do this too now, but I got a horror story call from a mentee who's playing ball and he needs this year to be good. His baby mama fucking with him, but. Play this on video, Miles, with this black boy being so, and this narration is hilarious too.
He can't hold it in. He know he ain't supposed to be there. Look at him. I'm happy for you, kid. It's like a little piece of reparations. Keep doing your thing, baby. This the one. When they do, when he do that, he letting us all know, I'm doing this for y'all. This the kind of love I want. Look at the pure joy on his face. Look at that smile. That's real love. Why is he smiling like that? Look who his girl is. Look, don't even worry about her face. Look at her name. Phoebe Gates. That's Bill Gates' daughter. He done hit the lottery. I wouldn't care what Dr. Umar said. Forget Sierra's prayer. What prayer did he pray?
Amen.
Look at that pure black boy joy. Every picture he cheesing. Big smile showing all his teeth. Crab singles. Every picture just cheesing. He can't hold it in. He know he ain't supposed to be there. Look at him. I'm happy for you, kid. It's like a little piece of reparations.
But the guy just
keep doing your thing, baby.
If everybody were 100% real with themselves, not worrying about if other people are real to you, but real with yourselves, there's things that you wouldn't do. I'm a big proponent of not fucking up my own happiness. Things come, things go. Oh, that's how you say it. Yeah, like it's supposed to be Phoebe, I think. Phoebe Gates. But life is crazy enough. I got a lot of great things going on. And I know I got to protect my chickens and mentals, like my boy Marshawn says. But I think a lot of times people go around and they're looking for ways to fuck up their happiness. And in that, they go fuck up other people's happiness. And I think sometimes you should just, if you got a good thing, let it just keep riding. And don't be and if you're one of those miserable ass that, you know, the world ain't working out for you and you need to pick up the phone and fuck up somebody else's life, I hope somebody hits you in the head with a rock. Not saying anybody, I don't know who particularly that is, but I really pray bad things happen to you, because to me in my house, don't call me and tell me, because the crazy part is you're not going to react to guys like me. You call me and say, hey, man, I was with your girl last night. I'm like, hey, great. She was making me grits this morning. So like, I like some cheese grits. So as long as she's doing what she's supposed to do for me, and she has the energy and the time to do it, don't come fuck my happiness, because in the simplicity in my world, because you want to be you. So on that note, man, I hope you guys have a great weekend, man. Go into this, just go in there thinking what I would say. I used to live at what would Rihanna do or what would Cardi B do, but all that bitches is getting married and pregnant. So and I can't tell you to go do what Carisha Young Miami would do. She getting peed on and do. But I would say have a great time, spend some time with your kids, get ready, get refreshed, and be able to do something different. Go into Monday with the soul capacity, with the soul mentality of kicking the hell out of some asses. Love y'all. Appreciate you chopping up with me. Let's get to 2,000 my Monday. See y'all on there.